more than anything, I want to express my gratitude, not for the award, but for the impact the program had on my life when I was a teenager, and for the impact I know it has on the lives of a lot of other people as well. So, Joanne asked me to share a little bit about myself. I'll keep it brief. I grew up in Iowa, and I was lucky enough to be raised by a family that loved science and technology. Both my parents were ophthalmologists. Both my sisters became doctors, and so that made for some pretty interesting dinner-time conversation. My parents really stressed that science was important, that giving back was important, and that protective eyewear is not optional. And I felt really lucky to have a family that cared about science because, candidly, I went to a great public high school full of great teachers. A lot of my classmates weren't as excited about science and technology as I was. Football was a dominant sport, and games was a dominant sport in Iowa. So I think like a lot of folks who were in the program, I had a small group of pretty nerdy friends that talked about how cool science and technology was. And between my junior and senior year of high school, I went to my guidance counselor, and she had this big things you could do in the summer. And she's like, this one's for you, it's a free science program. And I was like, both of those things sound great. And I didn't really know what to expect. No one at my school at that time had attended folks like in my immediate class, there were some folks who had already graduated. And so before I knew it, I found myself on an airplane to Boston, where I spent the summer at MIT. And I remember it being a summer of a lot of firsts. It was the first time I lived in the city with the subway. It was very exciting. It's hard to express how exciting that is to a 14, 15-year-old from Iowa. It was the first time I was entrusted to do research in a real academic research institution. And most importantly, it was the first time that I was surrounded with kids who were as excited about science and technology as I was. So here we were, this high school students from all over the world, different backgrounds, different cultures, but we had this one bond that we were excited about science. And so I made friendships that still endure to this day. And looking back, it also made an impact on me professionally, although in a little bit of a roundabout way. As Senator Lieber mentioned, after high school I went to Yale, and I studied political science. And I remember how sad my parents were. And I remember talking to my grandfather, who was a professor of biophysics at SUNY Buffalo. He said, "What you said?" And I said, "Political science." There was a long pause. And he said, "That's not science." But the thing that stuck with me the most from the times doing research was more of the mindset of doing research, the mindset and belief and faith that science and technology have a very positive impact in the world. I think most kids who study, they learn about things that are already known. They learn about history that was already written, about math that was already figured out, about scientific discoveries that already happened. And so you can grow up assuming things just get figured out without any effort or without any work. And of course, everyone here knows that the opposite is true. Nothing proves to you how hard fought the learnings of science and technology are than working in a lab personally and realizing that every discovery is the product of hundreds, sometimes thousands of failed experiments. And that process is the process that keeps us moving forward. I remember hearing a quote from Admiral Rickover, and he said, "Sit down before the fact with an open mind. Be prepared to give up every destination. Follow humbly whatever it is nature leads you, or you learn nothing." And so for me, nature ended up leading me to technology. College was the first time I had access to the internet, and I thought it was so cool. Just the idea that no matter where you were, everyone had access to the same information, for me, was the most romantic idea, and I wanted to be part of it. And so I eventually moved to California, where I got a job at Google. And after about a year and a half, I got a startup bug and ventured out on my own. I quit my job, just like that. I was an entrepreneur. My mom, never the pragmatist, saw it a little differently. When I told her I was an entrepreneur, she said, "Dad, it sounds like you're unemployed." And looking back, I understood why she was concerned. It was 2008, it was at the bottom of the financial crisis. But if science improved anything on me, believes that anything is possible if you have enthusiasm for trying new things. And so I tried lots and lots of new things. In homage to my ophthalmologist roots, I built a tool that you try on your glasses online. It didn't work out. After that, my older sister, who's now an oncologist, told me how hard it was to gather accurate medical histories, so I set out to build an online medical history tool. That didn't work out. And that project, incidentally, was started with a high school classmate and an RSI alum. And thank goodness it didn't work out, because that alum went on to MIT. He was the aforementioned Dr. Fong J, who discovered CRISPR. So thank goodness we were very helpful in the business. And eventually, one of the ideas that we tried out as Pinterest, we launched in 2010. And today, there are 300 million people who use the product every month, and they use it to get inspiration. Most people use it personally to figure out things like what I want to eat, what I want to wear, what I want to do with my kids, how I want to decorate my home. And there are some people that use it professionally, architects, wedding planners, and those are the public school teachers in the US who use Pinterest to help them design lesson plans. And as Senator Lieberman said, we want to make sure we're doing it in a responsible way. So I'm proud to say that we took the lead in preventing people from seeing out misinformation, and we're partnering with groups like the WHO and the CDC so that people searching for vaccine information get reliable results. Most recently, I connected with another RSI alum, Dr. Nina Hassan at Stanford, and she helped us work through what should we show people on social media when they're feeling depressed. What would be better than just giving them a 1-800 number to get help? What are the exercises they can do that are medically backed? Then how do we make it easy to get help? And I'm proud that we were the first company in Silicon Valley to make transparent the number of engineers we have that are women or underrepresented groups and set targets on achieving those goals. We're obviously not done building Pinterest. We have a lot of work to do. But I'm proud of the path we're taking, and I can say my experience at RSI and research helped shape that path. And I'm not alone. I've been to a number of CEE events. I've heard stories about how CEE has been impactful to many people in science and business. And our responsibility today is to make sure that future generations of students have the same chance. The world has really big challenges to solve, from climate change to inequality, and we need to empower the next generation of creative thinkers with the support they need. And I think that means dispelling two conceptions that I often hear. One that Joanne mentioned. First, that the students in programs like CEE or RSI are so promising that they don't need any help. And I have a different take. I think that while yes, the students at RSI are promising, they need us to invest in them and believe in them, and they need encouragement and support. And if we provide that support, it's proven that they can have tremendous impact. And that's why, although I'm honored by the gesture, I would like to donate a stipend back to the center, and I'll make a donation to the center this year. Because I believe that when we empower young people with opportunity and knowledge, the returns are limitless. And that's what I know this money will do. It'll do more good here than it would do with me. The second misconception I hear sometimes is that business, and specifically technology industries, can provide a viable alternative or replacement for fundamental scientific research. That we should push students into business rather than into research positions. And as the founder of the technology company, I just wanted to say that from where I sit, that's not true. I really believe that fundamental scientific research is the driver of business and economic progress, not the other way around. It was basic scientific research that Senator Lieberman reminded us, much of it funded by the US government, that birthed the technology industry. And it's important to remember this because private industry gets more than its fair share of awards, both financial and recognition. But foundational work in scientific research, the research that happens in universities and government labs, doesn't always get the recognition and support that it needs. Too many young people now are being asked to specialize and focus their talents on business exclusively, and I think that we all lose when scientific creativity is stifled, and so we should work to make sure that doesn't happen. There are lots of big problems for humanity to solve. I think the world needs to nurture exceptional young people to dream and explore and invent and push what's possible, and I'm grateful that an organization like CEE exists to help them do that. Joanne, you made a difference in my life. You made a difference for students around the world, and I know you continue to be part to make a difference for future generations. So I'm honored to be part of the community. Thank you very much.